your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, sorry I missed the first part, but I had a problem with internet, but we're okay right now, I believe. Now, on Friday, we were talking about the Dow Jones when we were up there at 47,300 on the radio show right there. And I said, I said, if you can't sell this, you can't sell anything, because you got 5 major reasons to sell it. You've got one ABCD, that's 1. You got 2 ABCDs, that's 3. And you got 3 ratios up here. You got this, this is the 127, and this is the 1.618, and then you have another ABCD that extends up to this level, 4730. Folks, it dropped $3,500 today, and it stopped exactly at the 61% retracement from October 1st. There it is right there. It stopped right there on the money. And since that time, we're just going to look at it, bring it up, go up to a little, say, just an 8-minute chart, and you'll see we had a big break. Let's get up here. You can see the rally that we've had. So we're going to move this over just a little bit. Remember, we got a new high and a new low. There's your new high. There's your new low. So what we have to do is we got to measure the 382 back on this. If you go from the high down to the low, there it is right there. And we're still under it as we speak right now. Now, there's a couple others that we talked about in the video that we did on Sunday. I didn't have any videos available this morning because I had no internet earlier, but remember we were talking about the bonds being negative, and all we did last night was rally up to the exact 382 right here, and now we're backing off. That's had a really nice profit of about $500 in it so far, but it's still, quite early in the day. So that's one of the things that we've been watching. We had one other one that is quite exciting, folks, and that is the gold market. We're getting up here, and we're going to bring this up on that. I believe it was the 4-hour chart we were looking at. Yeah, nope, let's go. I believe it was the hourly chart. It might even be the daily. I'm not sure. There it is. There's the hourly. We were predicting we would get up here to 39.91 in the gold. We got to 39.94, and we dropped $30 really quick. Just bring this up, and I'll show you what happened. There's the big drop right here. What'd we do? Came right down and stopped right where we should have. Right there's your retracement level, and here you're rallying back right now. This may or may not be a major top, but what we're looking at right now in gold, okay, now this is a small time frame, folks, but this is how you control the risk. There's what we think is the high. Now we have an A, B, C, D forming right now. We're just going to draw it in, and you'll be able to. This is good because you know exactly what your stop is if you're wrong. See, we got to get to right here, which is 48. We got to get to 39.84. And you put a stop above 39.89. Now this market dropped from 39.91. You see, we dropped $35, folks. No, yeah, $35 in just a matter of 12 minutes, and then we have a rally back already of $20. So this is really a wild market. But that is the ABCD Gartley at that particular point. This was our predicted low or high, I believe. I think that that was on that 4-hour again. Let me make sure we have it in there. It was the hourly. Sorry, folks, I had a little data problem. Now I'm catching up. There's what we were watching. There was your low yesterday at the exact 382 of our low right here. We talked about that on Thursday. Okay, and now we completed that pattern right there at 39.91, and then we broke down. We're backing off right now. So all I'm doing is showing you higher time frames, lower time frames. You have to pick which one you're looking for, but that's what we're watching when we're watching these things unfold. Now, also here in the Russell, we've had 2 indices make new highs tonight, folks. We had a new high by the NASDAQ by a lot, okay? but we didn't. And we've had a new high here in the, hold on, let me get this separate. We had a new high in the Russell. You see that as a new high in the Russell. That was sort of expected because, we had the A, B, C, D here, and it was supposed to go to 20. It got to 19. I mean, that's almost spot on, and here's where we are right now. We also made a monster new high in the NASDAQ. I mean, everybody's talking about it because AI is in the focus. As we all know, it's the savior to the world, and that's what we're watching right now. Now, what I want to do, let's get this NASDAQ to show you, because we had a big move in the NASDAQ. Where did it stop, folks? There was our low on Friday. There was our high last night. It stopped exactly at the 382 again. Here's a 382 last night. That led, I believe, to pretty close to the top of the market, but we'll double check, see how close it was. And there was the high right there. So that should be it. May or may not be, but that's what we're watching right now. The other one that was really good to us was the euro, folks. We've been short the euro for quite some time. And then we had the ABCD forming here last night, spot on. You can see the exact low right here was at 165.50. Ours measured to 166.60, 10 pip difference, and we've had a pretty good rally here, just about 50% off the high in the euro. So those are a couple of them that we've been watching here this morning, bouncing off these numbers, but it's still early. The good part, folks, is this is the harvest moon. In China, everywhere else in the world. It's one of the more powerful lunar cycles that we have, and that happens on October the 6th, and that is also, a very, very important day in my life because I had a baby girl delivered to me on, this is a funny story, you might like it, but I was living in Claremont, California, and I was working for Eli Lilly, and I had one little baby that was 11 months old, and I went into delivery room to deliver the new baby. My mother had come all the way from Terre Haute, Indiana. First time she'd ever been on an airplane. First time she came out with Jill, she took a train, but this time she took a plane. And we were waiting in the waiting room, and the delivery came, and I came out, and I had the little baby in my arms, wrapped up and everything, because I helped with the delivery. And I showed her the baby, and I was watching the Mets game. Mets was in the final game of the 1969 World Series, and I had $50 bet on the Mets, and I had this little baby, and I'm watching the game, holding the baby, and Mom wanted to see the baby, and so I had her in my arms. I said, Mom, I said, she's beautiful, but she's not as pretty as Jill. I swear to God, my mother cold-cocked me with a fist. I mean, hit me right in the mouth. I was bleeding. And it's the first time and only time in my life that my mother ever hit me. And she said, if I ever hear you say anything like that again, she says, I'll break every bone in your body. And of course, she said it in Italian. But anyway, that was it. And my little daughter, still this day, is a doctor now, but she still reminds me of that every day on her birthday because she's heard the story so many times. But anyway, the Mets did win, and I won my $50. And anyway, let's move on to some of these things that you're interested in. You're not interested in this homey stuff. Okay, let's talk about Paul Tudor Jones, folks. You know how important he is in the world because he's made billions of dollars. And he came on the tube today saying that he thought that the market was in a place where it was going to have a tremendous blow-off. Well, I'm going to bring this up to you, and you tell me if I'm wrong or not, but this is what's happened over the last 60 years, folks. This was the Nifty 50 in the 1970s. The Dow Jones went from 1,000 to 54 into 1974. This was the commodity boom into 1980. This is when gold topped in January of 1980 and went down for 21 years. It didn't bottom until way over here. Then we had the Japanese stock market. And the Japanese stock, we got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Jones bringing at it in the market potential, and I met him to a friend in Dallas, and he like helped you and a friend. Yeah, talk a little bit about the years not much. Doesn't invite to dinner like he should, but that's okay. Anyway, here's one that really knows the markets, and he does. This is a possibility of a major top. And boy, to me, this looks like a blow-off top. I mean, when you stop and think, this was the dot-com bubble right here. See that? It's up 795% from the low in 1991. Look where it is now, folks. It's up 2,400%. Now, if that's not a blow-off, I don't know what is. But what do I know? I'm just an old cowboy out here and wherever I am right now. Let's move over and take a look at that gold trade to see if it did anything like we thought it was going to do. I've got to get it up here out of the way in a sec. We were going to sell it at 84. If it got there, let's move out of the way. Hold on a second here. I've got these wrapped up a little too much. There's where we go. Okay, let's see if we got there or not. We were looking at a small time frame, and we'll move it up to there. Well, we didn't get there. See, we're supposed to get to 84. We're still there. We could still get there, but we'll see. This is a pretty big number. So this is just a 50% pullback right here. There's your ABCD. Maybe that's all we're going to give. Is the 50% ABCD. I didn't draw that part in because I'm doing too many things at once. It should have said we were going to get to 93, but we got to 83. We only got to, we did get to 83, but it's backed off a little bit now. All right, folks, let's just move that out of the way here. And I want to talk to you about the Japanese yen, because this is a big thing, folks. What happened in the Japanese yen today with the election over there? The Japanese have elected a prime minister of the opposite sex. Now, I know you might think that's not much, folks, but that is years old, and she's the very first one. Well, what happened? the dollar just absolutely. David CDD on up. Now, I don't think this is much of an action right here. You can see we needed to get back here. We're still there, but this is such an unusual thing. Just to give you an example, folks. The Nikkei Dow, 4.5%. 4.5% of the Dow Jones Industrial Average would mean that the Dow would be up 1,750 points today. If we were to get a female, well, I don't know. I'm just trying to make the analogy here, but that's what's happened with the news here. Now, we didn't even take out the highs of August as of yet, so this might be one day wonder. We don't know, but 1,700 points, I think, in the Nikkei Dow today, and boy, that thing has just gone, wacko to the upside because of that. It was really exciting to watch it on the news because everybody was so shocked. And they thought she had a chance, but it's a little better than a chance, I guess. So anyway, that's what we're watching here right now. Now, we've had a couple questions about stocks, and we're going to take a look at Tesla now because we're watching Tesla, when we got up to that 70 level. Okay, there's where we were on Friday. We made 470. Now we're just going to take it down to a smaller time frame to see what's happened since that time. There was the move down. Now, Tesla gapped up today after this bottom was made, okay? And so far, the rally has taken us back to where we were looking at. We're just about exactly, we're just right exactly at this. There it is right now. There was the high up in the morning. Then we had a little back off. It's setting right at the 61% retracement here in the Tesla. And people have asked me about AMD. I had to put the chart in a new format because I never seen this. I knew what AMD was, but no one's ever asked me about it in all these years. So I'm going to get it up here. We're going to look at it together. There's my advanced micro devices. First, what we'll do is we'll look at it on the daily. Okay, now you can see what we've done here. Everybody that took my buy recommendation right here on Friday has made a lot of money, but unfortunately, I didn't know anything about it, and so I didn't do anything. But that's what's happened. But you can see here, folks, this is the action so far. This was in the news so much, it opened 37% higher on the daily charts. Let's look at the weekly because I think it had to make new highs on the whole year. Let's just get this up. Yeah, well, there we did. You see, we didn't even make a new high on the year yet. Well, wait, the high on the year was hit right. This one here was at 27.30, and the high today was 26.71. So it didn't even make a new high on the year so far. Now, looking at it since that time, with today's pattern in here, you'll see that somebody, I got to move it over a little bit like this and then spread it out because the ranges are so big. But there was the high made early. Just a second here. There we go. There was your high made early in the morning. Then we had the big break. And all we did so far in just the last few minutes is we just made a small 382 retracement right here. Look at all these people that bought it here. Oh, they're standing with a loss here. It's a short-term loss, but, who knows? I'm just giving you some ideas that maybe these things aren't nearly as bullish as they might be. Okay, we got Tesla, and one other was Apple, and it's important to see whether Apple broke above that coveted 260 level, and then we'll bring this up here on the daily pattern, and we'll see if Apple got above it today. Nope, not yet. There's the old number we were looking at with still trading 257. They got the high. So that's what we're setting at, looking at the Apple here so far. And we had one other question, and that was, of course, about Google. We'll get Google up here in just a second. Here's Google. And, of course, it's been in this really big run here. We'll put the daily up. You'll see we had this big run to the upside. And this is one of the reasons why the S&P goes so high is because this is, trading at a really high number of $250 with that capitalization. There was a high way back here. And so it's really done nothing here over the last couple of days. It's just moving that. And of course, the last one before the break has got to be NVIDIA because I must have had 6 or 7 requests for that. And we'll bring it up here right now. And there's NVIDIA. See, NVIDIA hasn't broken, folks. Let's do this on the weekly because that's what we were watching on this NVIDIA. There was our number right here. You see, you had a 1.618 up here at at 91 and we're trading at 86, so we're still down. If you look at this on the shorter term time frame, you'll see that there's the high that we made just the other day. There's where we were on the second. We'll draw that ABCD pattern so you can see it. There's your AB. There's your CD coming in within how much? Within $1 of the exact high. The high was at 91. This was at 92.75, and all we've done so far is just back off a little bit. But on the weekly chart, this is actually still following that same pattern. That's that. You can see there's a 1, 3, 5, 3 drives to a top. Drive 1, drive 2, drive 3, and there we are right at 1.618. So it's not running away. I mean, you get Oracle and some of these others pop up for a short period of time, but they seem to lose interest after the first day of all the excitement. We're going to look at Oracle when we come back from the break, so stay tuned.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, I'm sitting here in San Diego with my oldest friend in the whole world, and we met many, many years ago in 1965 when he was already working with Eli Lilly for about 8 years, and I just started working, and he was Italian, I was Italian. We were both from California. We ended up being on the same team in California for a short time, but I want to share this with you through him. But this is the book from 1937, Profits in the Stock Market by H.M. Gartley, showing the market that started in 1915 was the low of the stock market. It went up 15 years into 1929, September the 3rd, and from September 3rd into the 8th of July in 1932, the Dow gave up 97% of its value. 16 of the Dow 30 stocks went bankrupt during that. Twice during this. And also at this time, we had 29 automobile companies. Remember, in 1929, folks, we were thinking of things that we'd never heard before. The telephone, electricity, indoor plumbing. I was a senior in high school before we had indoor plumbing in Indiana. Okay, and then you had microphones, you had radio, you had TV, air travel, all that stuff is happening during this time. This is why they built the Empire State Building, was finished in 1929, because they had enough electricity and air conditioning to build a building that would handle all that traffic. You can see the market broke. There's the crash and then up. But all I wanted to show you, you know what I do, and that is I watch basically the ABCD patterns. Hold on one second, and I'll get it up here, and we'll be able to see it right here. There it is, right there. Not the ABCDs that we've been talking about that we're going through today, just as we talk. There it is right there. And I think this is where we are, but it may not be it. Maybe we go a little bit higher today. We'll have to wait and see. But this is the type of thing that we're getting ready to see. And with all the things that are occurring, I want to just share these one at a time. This is the Dow Jones Transportations. This is as it's going on right now. Now, remember, folks, we are substantially higher in the Dow Jones, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Russell, but the transports has not gone any higher. Now, this goes back to my old training days from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and that is there's a man named Richard Russell, the father of the Dow theory, and he said for the bull market to be accurate, you have to have the transportations moving on with the rest of the market. And as you can see, the transportations made a high in November of last year. It's been 10 months ago, and they still haven't made a new high. The reason why is you've got two stocks in the transportations. The first one is Federal Express. And as you can see, Federal Express has gone from 320 down to 190. It's been a bear market. It's rallying back a little bit. But the biggest one of all the shippers is UPS. And look at UPS, folks. It's gone from 240 to 86. They're the people that ship the packages. Now, you wonder why they started going down from here. Well, there's a company called Amazon. And back in 2019 and 2020, Jeff Bezos says, I'm going to build my own trucks and deliver my own packages. And nobody believed this would affect UPS. And look what's happened. It's been a strong downtrend. How'd you like to be long from 240 down to 86? Not a good feeling. Whether that means very much, I don't know. I'm just bringing this to your attention because that's what we're watching as we're looking at some of these things, unfolding. One other thing that's very important here is this is the stocks, okay, that has been going on now for quite a while. This is where we were on Friday. You see, we were making new highs here. Now, this is the advanced decline line. This means that there are less stocks increasing than there are decreasing. Here, you got all the stocks are increasing, but lately they're decreasing. I have a little bit of rally here today, but that's what's it showing. We have a lot of divergence right here. You want to watch that divergence because that tells you that their people are, moving out of certain things. Remember, this S&P is cap weighted so that, with these real expensive stocks like we're looking at, that's what makes these things rally so much. So anyway, I want to bring a couple more things to your attention here. The German DAX, you see it's making the big ABC. We matched this high I think today. We went up and matched that high. The emerging markets, it was up higher because of what's happening in China. And the Chinese market did not have the spectacular move like we had, in the Dow Jones or in the Nikkei. It was only the Nikkei so far today that has had that 5% move to the upside. So those are the ones that we're watching here. We're going to do a couple others. This is the Hong Kong. We did get to 27,000. We're now below 27,000, and that completed the three drive to a top pattern, 61% from the high from August of 2018. There's drive one, there's drive two, there's drive three. So the market is overbought on a lot of different things, but those are the things that we're watching. And I think one of the most important things to look at here is the margin debt, folks. These are people who are buying on margin. And we just passed on Thursday, we had $1 trillion in borrowed money buying stocks. I can promise you one thing. When the market does turn down, fear is a greater emotion than greed, because you see it in your face, your chalkiness in your mouth, your bulging eyebrows, the sweating and everything. Well, that's what happens when you have to sell. Remember, sell when you want to, not when you have to. That's very important, market thing. So I'm looking for, it might not be today, it might not be for a couple of days, it might not be ever, but I believe we're looking at something that could be quite spectacular. Now, this long-term cycles, this is from Martin Armstrong. All of you know who he is. This comes from the Foundation for the Study of Cycles, and they were looking for a high to come in here. Remember, this is over a 15-year period, so it'd be off by years, no big deal. But there it is. Says it'll be down into 2028, and that's what I'm expecting. And so I think we're going to be in a pretty big recession. You remember, this was the code bottom right here. This was the big bottom after we had in 2009. So this stuff does work pretty well, but it's not hardly the timing. And that's what we're watching when we're watching these things, doing these timing things that we're paying close attention here today. Those were the main ones. And I've already brought up the NVIDIA chart, showing we were the high was instead of 183, instead of 187, it got to 191, and we're trading at 185. I believe that's where we're trading right now, but that's also a three drive to a top pattern. But look at the spin up, though. That's a lot. Very, very overbought, but it can stay overbought for a very, very long time, that's for sure. We'll take a little break here, and we'll be right back, so stay tuned. Oh, we got 54 seconds. Sorry, Al. That's like our lifetime in radio time, so let me get up here and take a look at the Dow Jones and see how we're doing here. Where is the Dow Jones? There's where we are. We're still making, did we make it high in the S&P yet? No, we got to 96. The high is 68. I would expect it to get a tiny bit above that just because of the other things that have been running around, but we're a little above the 382 here, as you can see here in the Dow Jones right now. There it is right now. By the way, folks, today's low, all right, I know you don't like these numbers, but we're going to show you, hopefully, where we are right now from the previous day. Move this over, and you'll see we stopped exactly, right there, exactly at the 61% retracement. I already showed you the one that the NASDAQ stopped at the 382. Well, that stopped exactly at 61. That was a $3,500.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, I want you to put your long-term trading pants on. We're going to talk here about the euro. This is a monthly chart. Goes back, remember when the euro was 84? Okay, that's when my grandson was born. And guess where gold was at that time? $232. And, of course, it had a rally up to this level right here. This is when I got married, and I had my honeymoon in Rome and Venice. We were there for 6 weeks. And Florence. And I ordered a Coke one night. I was working trading and stuff, and they delivered Coke to me. It was $11. It was not with the tip for a regular Coca-Cola in Rome. Anyway, you don't care about that. Let's take it where we look at it. This is the first AB that we've had in the last 17 years. There's a small one right here. I stand corrected. That took a year to finish, but this one's taken 4 years to finish. This is a big move here, folks. We remember shorting this quite a few times ago, but we want to look at it right now because this morning, you see, we made a beautiful ABCD pattern right there. From that high right here, okay, to that low right there, folks, that's $1,700. And if you covered it right here and put it back, which we were trying to, tell folks when we were looking at these things over the weekend and stuff, that was a pretty good move. Now, this doesn't mean anything because we're still bearish. You see, this rally right here is actually so far just almost exactly what it was before. So it's doing what it's done in the past. See, this is not doing anything different. There's nothing bullish about this. The reason why is you're looking at this. You can see here over the last 6 or 7 trading days, we've had lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. The highs have not been they're not even taking any of these out. So this is still quite bearish. That's why we're looking at it. We think that if we get below this 165 level, then we'll be heading down to 162 and eventually get this back to that long term. We'll go to the weekly so we can see it better. There's where we are. The ABCD, there it is right there. There's a 119, we're 17. Now, at 14, folks, from that level to that level is $11,000. So that's kind of, you can see. So very, very close. It's over. Let's see. Bad internet can do about that, my friend. So, then, so I'm going to keep talking because it looks interesting here. At the top here, for a second, and then we'll bring over here, and that is the crude oil. Give them crude oil. If you remember, that was a number. This is a pattern coming in here, and crude oil is up $1 a barrel from where we are right now. So I don't expect it to make it today, but in the next couple of days, between the 7th and 8th, you want to be looking to sell the crude oil because you're right out downtrend. I don't care what they're talking about. People talk doesn't well, people. What we did wrong. What's you can do, boy? This is. Let's get that stuff. Okay, I'm going to get the chart back. It's coming out just a second here. We'll get this back here and we'll be ready to go here. Okay, all right, here we are. Here, yeah. No. I'm going to check with Jeff here to see if the internet connection is any better right now. Lost the chart. Yeah. Okay, let's try back up again. Yeah, this internet. I need to have to call Marcia when we're done here. Okay, John. I want to call Marcia after the show's over, so she might be able to. Yeah, I don't know what else to do, Al. I really don't. Oh, it's done. Yeah. I don't know. No. I should. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's do Marcia. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Also, John, on the where we were setting, there's a white tablet with some stuff. Bring that with the phone. Okay. Thanks, buddy. Can you hear me now? 10-4, 10-4. Hello, hello. Okay, now hopefully we'll get the charts up. 1 second, and we'll see if we can get the charts up. We want to finish our situation here in the crude oil because that does have a really good pattern. We'll get this up here, and we'll get it right here. This is the pattern in crude oil we're looking at. We'd like to see it. Oh dear, hold on a second here. This not very much. Get it up here. Hold on just a second. Yeah, this is not. Oh, there we go. See, this is what we're looking or here, 62, 65 is seller with a top right above here at 62, 64. So that's what it looks like. And really possibility of going down a lot below, folks, because we think on the daily chart of the crude oil, we could easily get down to this level here, $57 to $56 a barrel. All we have to do, sell it there, break it there, and it's going to be down in this area here. We've held the support at 64. So far, the low been 42, and below that, there's not much there. We're looking for this little 382 right here, just like we had the 382 right here with the ABCD. This is the same thing, only in a smaller time frame.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, let's talk here about the market now. Here's the number we're looking at. To this $100 to this level right here, and now you can see we rallied back over $300 points in the Dow already. They're 50% from the low that we made right back here. And if you looked at it from the low we made on the first, we're also standing right at 61. You had 2 major numbers right in, and it just about equaled the last retracement that we had. You see how close they were? Not too far, about 100 points away. But now we're saying is if we get above, and all this stuff that I've been doing here, let's just get this 4-hour chart up here. This is all going to be wrong. If we get above here, that means that all of these things that we were talking about are going to be failing. Now, it's got to go a long way. I mean, you've got to drop another 300 points in the Dow, but given the fact that these things jump around so much, it's not that big a deal. You see, we're very, very close in the S&P. We're only 5 points away from making a new high. Now, as we look at this is only going to take a second because we've got a time frame coming up here. We're going to be done, but this is a big number. Now, we backed off. You can see right to the 382. And so, at the 61% retracement, that gives us another new high that we could be making today. And we'll see how close it would come to. There we are. See, our stop was, 10 points. So our stop has got to be above that. But we're in the Dow Jones. We still have a huge profit in that. And if we covered it and put it back on the 382, you've got even bigger profit. So that's what we're trying to show you. What we're doing here is manage keeping the risk, viable. So that's what we're watching here, folks. Stay tuned because tomorrow we're going to have as our other than Stan the Man Harley. And he has been bullish, and he's still bullish. So he'll be good to have as our guest, and we'll have him on to see what's going on. So now we're done. All done. All I got to do now is